Hi, it's Myranda Love here with Ninja Growth Strategies. And on today's interview, today's expert spotlight interview, we are going to be speaking with our client and a business coach, head of Weaver Business Coaching in Utah, Keith Weaver. Welcome, Keith. Hi.
Thanks for having me. How are you?
Thank you. I am great today. Wonderful to have you here as well. And I would like to go ahead and we'll start with, if you could briefly just kind of introduce yourself again and let us know about your business and everything. That'd be awesome.
Well, like you said, my name is Keith Weaver with Weaver Business Coaching, and we're out of close to Salt Lake City, Utah, but work throughout the country. And our main focus is working with small business owners, helping them grow their business and put their business in order so that they can eventually put it on autopilot and be able to have the business work for them.
That's wonderful. How long have you been in this capacity? I know you've had several other businesses, but how long have you been?
Yeah, in fact, I still own a couple other businesses, but been doing coaching for about 5 years now.
Okay, awesome. I would love, because you are so experienced. Here I am, not following my self-guided notes. Stay on script. I am going to go ahead and go off script here really quick, because you do have such a unique background of experience and everything. If you wouldn't mind just kind of briefly telling us about your different careers and businesses that you've had over the years and what all that you are bringing to the table there with your team at Weaver Business Coaching.
So yeah, kind of have a variety of different backgrounds. I actually have always been in helping professions, but started out as a licensed clinical social worker doing therapy with people, and then decided that I wanted to go back to law school. So went to law school and practiced law for about 8 or 10 years. Decided that it really wasn't what I wanted to do. It wasn't as fun as I thought it would be. And all the time I had owned different businesses, and so decided to close the law practice and just focus on the businesses that I had, and have enjoyed running businesses, being an entrepreneur. And so then about 5 years ago, I sold 2 businesses and decided to take a year off. We kind of caught up on some vacations, took 3 or 4 vacations that year, but a couple people that I knew called and wanted me to do consulting for them, for their businesses. And so started doing that just part-time and really loved it. Enjoyed helping them get their business organized and get their business to grow and put all the pieces together for them. And so 5 years ago, I decided I wanted to do that full-time and enjoy the rest of my life doing it. So kind of made that transition 5 years ago.
Wonderful. And you're still operating some of those other businesses as well with your team and everything like that, right?
Right. Yeah. So I have 2 businesses that I kind of oversee them, but otherwise they kind of run themselves for the most part.
That's the autopilot that you help people with. I think that's great. And I do. I definitely have really, while you're doing all the different things, and have shown up and doing awesome. You did. That's actually what you were saying about how you got asked to coach. You got asked to consult. You got asked to help people because of walking your talk and doing it so often. And that's wonderful.
Yeah, that's how I got into it. And so it's been really great watching businesses grow and just being able to take some that, whether they've been in business for 3 or 4 years, or I have had clients that have been in business for 15 years, but helping them sometimes get rejuvenated about their business because they've lost that passion over the course of time. And so getting them rejuvenated and the passion back so that they can keep moving on with their business, growing it and putting it to where it really does work for them, kind of a thing.
That's awesome. That is actually how, because I know some of the business coaches that I work with, they might think, or they already do have a kind of business coaching certification, and you nor your team there, I don't, as from what I understand, of all those degrees that what you had and things like that, you don't have a official coaching certification, and I don't either. And the reason why is because our stories are similar in that way. We got asked to coach by growing and starting our own business businesses and other people saying, wait a minute, how did you do that? I'd sold to, and like, how did you do that? How did you grow that so quickly? Or, do things online, because that's been my space. And I got asked to coach as well. So any thoughts on that?
No, I did go and get certified from what's called the growth coach, but, just because I wanted a little more structure and have some structure to what I was doing. But yeah, really the passion and the way I got into it was being asked and realizing, because I had been a guest lecturer at different universities and things, but so I loved teaching, but putting all those skills together and then mentoring into the coaching aspect, everything just kind of fell into place, and it was a combination of all those different skills. So it was really fun.
Yeah, that's true. And it is being able to use your psychology. And that's a big piece of what it is that you do, is mindset with your clients as well, which entrepreneurs, believe me, I know, that is, when we get to the point, it's like, okay, we're the only ones holding ourselves back in so many ways. And most of the cases, so having somebody, a strong leader like you, being able to help us push through that mindset issues is great, and get us to focus on what we really want, is good.
Right.
Well, I did want to, so how were things? You've been working with me right now and in our big league program, implementing the Ninja Growth Funnel where we help business coaches and experts like you. You've been a little bit further along in your business than a lot of the experts that we do start with. They're usually in year 1, or maybe year 2 before they start with us. And they really just kind of have not had a lot of success getting things going, or trying to find their one thing or their expertise. And you've been at it for a while and have had success in keeping your other businesses going, and even had a team with you. But but now you're kind of, so how were things before, like with getting clients and with your business and and everything like that, before we connected, before we started working on it together?
Well, it was always a struggle, and that was part of it. Is I do have a couple other businesses, and so I haven't put full-time effort into growing the coaching business, because I did have some other things going on. But a lot of the ways that we grew were some word of mouth, and then also just doing a lot of networking. And networking is great. You build a lot of relationships, but it's also very slow and very time consuming. You can network for 6 months without getting anything, depending on the network that you're working in. And it's very slow and time consuming to find referrals that way. And so as much as anything, when we met, it was finding a way that we could get more referrals and increase the speed of that, rather than the slow process of just networking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is your story that resonates a lot. You had success with it, and also knowing that it wasn't your full-time income stream too. You had the other businesses and everything like that. And so you had that, but you did have enough. You got enough that you even you brought on a partner, and you'd ideally, as I remember, like the reason why you love this as your other stuff is like, it's what you truly love and are passionate about. So you'd love to do this, but that's your main thing that you're doing, right?
Yes. Yep. If I can get it up to full time and just do this and turn the other stuff over to other people, I'd be happy to do that.
Mm-hmm. So. Yeah, that is. But what it is that you do is being able to spend the amount of time, and then you can only tap your warm. What I hear a lot, you can only tap that warm network, and referrals so much.
Exactly. Right.
You were fortunate, to be able to survive, to have it, support you in that way, and get clients for your first 5 years, and then you were looking to kind of to be able to reach more and have in a quicker amount of time, and online too, some different things like that, as I recall, right?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, awesome. So how was it that you did kind of hear about Ninja Growth Strategies, and that you and I connected?
So I recall we do stuff on LinkedIn, and so we have run a few ads on LinkedIn, and I think it was one of those ads that you saw, that you emailed or texted me and said, hey, I saw the ad, and is it working for you? And how's that working? And to be honest with you, we had tried ads on LinkedIn just sporadically, basically. And to be honest with you, we didn't get much results from it. very little. And so it wasn't working very well. And so when you reached out, then it was like, okay, I want to hear what she has to say. And the rest is history, as they say.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a little bit different. The routine that we normally, my clients come through is, very automated process. But actually I saw your advertising for, Weaver business coaching, and you were looking to get more strategy calls or breakthrough calls booked, and it went straight to there. And so that's why I just honestly was curious, it was like, hey, is this working for you? Because we're getting our strategies that we're using, to grow our coaching business and our clients' business for business coaches. We're getting 5 to 7 calls booked a week. Are you getting those results without advertising? And so it was good that we did get a chance to kind of speak. So you were looking for, as I remember too, that one thing. You had done the advertising on LinkedIn, and then I think you had done some things, maybe some advertising on Facebook and all that networking, but you didn't have that one thing that was actually, you could say that all of your business, that the majority of your business was coming from. Is that right?
Correct. Yeah. It's been kind of sporadic here and there, and as we talked about with the networking side of things, sometimes networking is great, but like you said, you can only tap into that network so long, and then you have to move on to a different network. And when you're networking locally, you have a limited population, and that's why we were looking at moving more online. But whether it's Facebook, Google, or LinkedIn, it is hard to build much of a network or advertise and get much presence online.
Well, speaking of that, then since you've been with us, I think, roughly in the program, you're about midly in the program. We're working on your webinar. I'm going to have that, announcing that here soon. We'll talk about that. But you have just speaking about that, about growing, you said it was kind of hard to grow a connection. You really didn't with that advertising, even on LinkedIn, didn't necessarily grow your connection or network online. So in the month or so, roughly, how many of you increased your network by now using our strategies on LinkedIn?
Well, I'd have to look, but as far as on LinkedIn, probably about 1,600 or so new connections on LinkedIn. And then we do have a weekly newsletter, and so a lot of those we've also been able to funnel into receiving our newsletter, so we're able to keep in touch with them through the newsletter as well. So it's it goes beyond LinkedIn, but LinkedIn has been one of the main focuses through the Ninja strategies. And so, more than 1,600. I don't know exactly.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's what I say. It's typical in a month, roughly 1,500, and sometimes it's 2,000, sometimes it's 1,000, depending on how the month. But it sounds like you're with 1,600, roughly halfway through in about a month, that you're on target. And so you're right. And it's actually after we get your webinar is where we do implement the emailing, and you're emailing them as well. But that is the strategies that we do as well. And so not only are you able to message them on LinkedIn and reach out to invite with them and connect with them that way and message them to your appointments or web class or your those things, is that I keep losing my screen here because of my automation tools keep flashing up. I saw he has a new hide browser now on the recent download. I clicked it, but then I didn't. Anyway, sorry, it keeps popping up what I'm doing. But you are able to with those connections, and they're targeted. They're your ideal business coach, or they're the founders, or the searching, or either some things that I have access to, some leads to kind of help flood your LinkedIn funnel, some targeted. So they're your targeted people. They're not necessarily people down the street or people that you went to school with, or just your mom's best friend. They're your target connections on LinkedIn. Those new 1,600, right?
Well, yes, and those 1,600, those are the ones that have connected, obviously have reached out to a lot more than that, but have been able to connect with those 1,600 and relatively painlessly and easy. It takes a lot less time to do that every day than it does to go to a networking event. In fact, I've cut back on some of the networking that I have done in person networking to focus on this more. So it's actually saved me time, because getting rid of one networking event a week is 2-3 hours, and I don't spend 2 or 3 hours probably doing this. So
Wonderful. That is good. Thank you for kind of bringing that. That is what it is that I love is like, you're able to do this. Occasionally it can be a little frustrating with the technology here or there, but that's so minor with what it is that you're able to do to generate a consistent, automated, and roughly by pressing a button a couple of times a day, 30 minutes or so a day, you're able to have a steady stream. If you do these activities, press this button, do these activities every day, you will grow your list by 1,600, 1,500, 1,600 every month. And it's that automated and systemated. And once we're getting your messaging dialed in, the web class and all of that sort of stuff, you have your booking, you will be getting this. If you do these, you'll know an email and you'll know that you're getting this. You should be getting 5 to 7 or 3 to 7, 5 to 7, whenever we get it dialed in, these number of new calls, client calls, hot leads booked on your calendar. And there are chances for you to go at that, that's how quickly that it works with those lists. It's like you're able, if you continue to do that, you will consistently be able to grow your list over and over and over with that.
Right.
So that in the amount of time. So that is awesome. So what is, you talked there about the saving the time and then, having that one thing and being able to systemize things and knowing that we're working on your webinar too. What would you say then, has it been like working with me and following the system and kind of so far?
Well, first thing, as a business coach, it's one of those things where you're holding your clients, their feet to the fire to make sure that they're doing things. It's a little different being turned around and being the client and having your feet held to the fire, but that's been really good because there are things that, talking about like doing the webinar, there's things like that I've known would probably be helpful, but because of everything going on, it gets pushed to the back and you just don't do it. And so having someone to hold your feet to the fire, but also have the knowledge of, what works, what doesn't, and help you walk through that has been really helpful. And, just in addition to the software and other stuff, the knowledge and the feedback that you have given has been really beneficial to work through some of that and not postpone it for another 6 months or another year. Okay.
Yeah, thank you. I agree, and that is why I appreciate that. I've loved working with you, and I've loved the way that you've shown up and actually taking the action every day and walking your talk. And that is why I do it that way, and in just the 8-week style, and the no man left behind, or no person left behind, or no question unanswered to keep you on track. Is because I do know that you've been at it long enough. If you were going to do it by yourself, you would have already done it by now. That's why you invested into this, and to get it to work. And I do know if you show up and do it, we'll work with you and it'll work. Right. And so yeah, that is great that you are able to kind of even save your time. Already right now doing this program and just already this amount of time, you're getting better results. You've got appointments booked, and you've got a different. I think you're getting ready to enroll a new client or potentially here soon from one of your new connections. And so a lot of exciting things going on in less time by doing it that way. So do you have anything right now? Would you recommend if there was another business coach that was out there, either they're already starting their business or wanting to scale their business and add another steady stream and get more time back at steady stream of leads and actually automate their marketing and automate their lead flow, and that was considering doing a marketing or either starting or something new, would you recommend them, or what would you say to them if they are considering Ninja Growth Strategies and working with Myranda Love and the Big Leap Year program?
Well, that's a loaded question because for competition purposes, I'd say don't do it, But the reality of it is there's so many different types of business coaches, some focusing on accounting or taxes or marketing or sales, that, the competition really isn't. There's very few that do exactly what you do. And so putting competition aside, yes, I would highly recommend it and say that, it's been really great to get organized, to get the tools in place and to see where it can go in the next 3 months, 6 months, and those kind of things. And as I said, I've been very impressed that just how on top of things you have been as far as being invested in my success, which, there's a lot of consultants or people out there that they don't seem really invested in seeing their clients succeed. They want to jump through the hoops, but not necessarily focus on whether they succeed or not.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much. It's very sweet of you to say, and I do appreciate that. It's meant a lot to me as well to be working with you and have you be walking the talk and modeling in your life what it is as well in business too. You know, for your clients too, kind of showing up in that way. And I do believe, like what you said, there's plenty of competition. I mean, I don't worry about you don't worry about competition whenever you are unique and you let yourself shine in that space and really kind of claim it and everything like that. So we don't have to worry about that. We can help lots of business coaches. There are 2.2 million of them out there, so we can help a few more figure it out. But
I didn't realize there was that many of them, but wow, that's a lot.
Yes. I am very picky of the ones that I do bring in, as you know, because of that. I don't want to be teaching my system to people that aren't good at getting results and for their clients, and so I'm very picky about that. And the way that I set my business up, the way that I do help other coaches set theirs up as well, is so I can spend the amount of time getting you the results. I've got my step-by-step program. I created that with my first kind of clients going through, update it whenever I need to. That you go through that, I meet with you once a week. Well, actually after this, we'll have our Q&A session and get things kind of fleshed out. We meet once a week. We are in contact when we need to throughout the week, getting things like that going, making sure you're staying on track. But I can make sure I can invest instead of growing and I have my marketing systems dialed in. And now I've got somebody taking my sales calls now too. So I can spend on, that is it. I can spend my time. My program's already created. I can spend my time making sure that my clients are getting the results. And that's the most fun for me. Thursdays are my favorite days. It energizes me. And so I love it. And that's why I set my business up that way and can do it, working 24 hours or less a week is the way I typically do it, roll here. So that's great. Well, I did really enjoy, and thank you for taking the time. If you could briefly, we are here in the Art of Attracting High Ticket Clients group on LinkedIn, on Facebook group that we have here with Ninja Growth Strategies, and we will also be launching your new webinar that we'll be launching. We're going to be launching that here in the Facebook group as well. So that's exciting. And if you could briefly tell us about that and when we can expect it, and we'll go from there. And who should tune in and what they'll benefit out of it.
Well, we are putting the final touches on it, so hopefully in the next week we'll have that ready and up and going. And again, I work with mainly entrepreneurs, small business owners. Because of my background, I love working with the medical field, whether it's dentists, doctors, chiropractors, therapists, and also attorneys. I work a lot with attorneys just from my background, but helping them put their business on track and grow their business and get the right mindset, as you said. And what you were talking about with your business is a great example. Reorganizing your business so that you have a sales team, you have people, so that you can focus on what's the highest and best use of your time, which is getting the results for the clients. And that's exactly what I do with my clients, is get them to understand what's the highest and best use of their time, focus on that so that they can truly grow their business.
That I can't wait to tune in to see it. I know we've been working on it and fleshing it out here, and that will be awesome. And we're working on the title, I think, or do we have a working title right now?
Well, it may change, but right now it's the 5 big shifts to grow your business and put it on autopilot. So,
yeah, I love it. I'm excited, and we will be announcing that here soon. And so, if people want to tune in for that, if you could please tell us, we will have that on Facebook, but we're going to automate it. We're going to automate everything. And so, if you will briefly tell us your website, and then how, if people would like to go ahead and reach out and book a call with you and speak with you or your team there at Weaver Business Coaching, how we can connect with you on your website and tell us that.
So the website is just weaverbusinesscoaching.com, and to book a call or a strategic session, it's just weaverbusinesscoaching.com/breakthrough, and they can go to there and get on our calendar and book a time, and we'll do an assessment with them and also the free consultation to work on their business.
Yeah, and bring all of your wealth of knowledge that you've been accumulating in all of your degrees and certifications and with your businesses, and also working, guys, five years as a business coach to that, and help them. So at their initial free call. So wow, that is, I might take you up on that one. But it was definitely been lovely working with you, and I've enjoyed it as well. And I love having experts like you be able to shine. And it has been. And if you are a business coach and you're considering starting a coaching business or consulting business, or you need more leads, clients, sales, and profits, with Ninja Growth Strategies is a great place, and we would love to be able to help you get results like this, like what we've helped Keith Weaver and other experts that are out there be able to shine and get more leads and clients and calls booked, and automate and get their time back too, is what we do. Very much experts, business coaches, and our strategies for LinkedIn are working right now. We're speaking to, I know you're still working with like plumber. I mean, we're targeting that, but we're speaking to our clients. We have executive coaches that are on the phone with CEOs of large companies. I mean, they are responding. They're not only on LinkedIn, our methods are working, and they are responding, and we are able to get their accounts as not for our clients. I don't target CEOs, but for our clients, I target business coaches. That's who I like to help. But if you are the business coach, and you are interested in these things, the first step that I would recommend for you to do is actually check out our web class. It's at ninjagrowthstrategies.com, and that it's how to make your first 6 figures online this year as a business coach using LinkedIn. And it will walk you through the exact process that is working right now for getting leads and clients on LinkedIn. The one that I used to launch my coaching business last year on LinkedIn with to $25,000 in the first 8 weeks, my brand new program, and consistently since then. And being able to also, the strategies that I've used on LinkedIn as an online entrepreneur since 2010 that have launched three businesses that hit 6 figures or more. I mean, over 6 figures in their first year. So those are the strategies that you'll get to see there. So please tune in. And if you would like to go ahead after you've watched the ninjagrowthstrategies.com web class, go there first. And then if you are ready to go ahead and watch that, you've been following some of my videos, you've listened to what it is that Keith has to say, or some of the other client or testimonials and expert spotlights, and you know that you're ready to go ahead and find out and talk about this further, we would love to invite you to have a growth breakthrough call with us as well, to help you get your clarity going and your marketing and really get a strategy and take that first step and making 2018 your big leap year. We are in mid leap of the year right now. It's not too late to join us, but it is getting close. It is getting close. So if you've got big goals for 2018, go ahead now, take action, because we only have spots a day now for 3. We only do actually 2, but 2 to 3 calls in the morning, and that's it. That's all the spots that we have right now, and so they're very limited. So go to ninjagrowthstrategies.com/growth and go ahead and take that now. ninjagrowthstrategies.com/growth. And it's been Myranda Love here, CEO and founder of Ninja Growth Strategies, and I would like to say thank you once again to our guest and expert spotlight, Keith Weaver of Weaver Business Coaching, and we're signing out. Keep it real, yo. Bye.
Bye.